After a long hibernation, Pokey News Now podcast is back. DJ, what's going on?
Hey, I guess we were playing the Pokey Flute and we all woke up.
That's something along those lines. I've been getting messages like, is this ever coming back? We're back, guys. We are back. We got a new format. We're going to rock and roll with your current Pokemon news. That is going to be our the way we're doing things going forward for the time being. So we're going to jump right into this. Pokemon Trading Card Game Live launches on June 8th, 2023. It says compete against players around the world with the release of Scarlet and Violet. Paldea evolved on Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. DJ, what do you know about this?
I know that I buy a lot of Pokemon cards here and there. Not a lot, but enough. I always buy one of the new packs or two of the new packs and open them. I'm in the process of reorganizing my personal collection of cards. Online, I've played the original TCG online a lot, and I haven't made the jump yet to TCG Live. How about you? Have you been playing it?
No, not at all. In fact,
didn't you a bunch though when you went up north? You went to New York.
So this is the I bought a bunch of packs, and guess what I did?
What?
I never opened them.
Oh, we're gonna open them live and see what we get. They'll probably be worth a lot of money in 20 years.
I never opened them, so I have probably a dozen packs of whatever last year's cards were, just not opened. Just not open. So give me the run. Like maybe somebody's listening to this that they play the game, they play the Scarlet and Violet or the Switch games or whatever, but they don't really do the card game. What is live? Give me a quick breakdown.
All right, so this is the newer version of Pokemon TCG Online. It used to be Pokemon TCG Online. It was on your phone. It was on your iPad. You could play it on. It was on a computer. It's kind of dated and crappy. The animations were almost non-existent. This is their new version of it. And so they migrate your account. Your old account can actually migrate into this. And it'll bring, I think, a lot of your collection with you, and or it converts packs and stuff. I'm not sure on all the details, but it does some cool stuff like that. Make sure you look at it before you convert your account to make sure you opened up whatever you wanted to open up, or you didn't open up whatever, so it all goes right for you. But it looks good. I've seen footage of it. It definitely looks improved and better. It plays smoother. It works better on your iPad. I just haven't gotten hardcore into it yet. So I've been playing more VGC, the video game console on a Switch. I haven't been doing the cards as much. When I do play the cards, I usually play them on a kitchen table with my children. And I do play Pokemon cards every month with my kids. So a couple times a month. So.
Okay. That's incredible. Remind me too, the only way, there's probably more. Can you buy digital packs plus you can scan QR codes from actual packs you open? Is that correct?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I haven't booted up live yet. So in the old one, yeah, you could buy packs and you could scan them or rip them and open them. And you could actually trade with each other online too. You could trade your collections with other people in online marketplace. So I don't know how much of that's going to carry over to this. I just need to get in there and try it.
I guess so. And it's going to be leaving beta on June 8th. So I will, I'll give it I'll download it today and mess around a little bit. That'll be fun. And I think I have access to a handful of QR codes from packs that have just been laying around. So, cool. I can start building my collection that way. So moving on. The Pokemon anime. This is from Game Rant. Pokemon anime script reveals unaired Team Rocket episodes. A Pokemon fan reveals the never-before-seen scripts for 2 unaired episodes of Pokemon anime that features new adventures of Team Rocket. Continuing in the article here, it says a Pokemon enthusiast has published the original scripts for 2 Pokemon anime episodes that never aired, unveiling new adventures for the popular villains of the series Team Rocket. This team of bad guys has been the main antagonists for the entire Pokemon anime, and its evil plans were often thwarted by Ash Ketchum and his faithful companion, Pikachu. The Team Rocket trio consists of Jesse, James, and Meowth, made their debut in the 2nd episode of the Pokemon anime back in 1997, only to say their goodbyes 25 years later with the end of Ash's adventures in Pokemon Ultimate Journeys, the series.
And that has already aired over in Japan. And over here, you can watch those episodes, but they haven't been dubbed yet. And I did watch the ending to see how it goes. It's cute and simple. Ash walks off into the sunset. It's nothing insane. But, all the characters get their goodbyes and stuff briefly. And then the new stuff, I guess we'll cover the new stuff soon, but that looks good. They have all new characters for the new Scarlet and Violet series coming out, so it'll be fun. So, but what are your thoughts on Team Rocket here? Oh, we got to see, did they give us any details on the episodes themselves?
Let's see. For some reason, my thing froze up on me for a second here. So, um, continuing on in the article, here says these episodes. Let's see. Oh, here's the tweet. Here's a tweet from at a Kilvers, it looks like. It says the history has been made today. Finally, after 12 years, the script for 2 lost episodes of Pokemon anime, Team Rocket versus Team Plasma, part 1 and 2, finally available for everyone. And then they have a link to a Google Drive that you can go and check out. It says these episodes were scheduled to air in Japan on March of 2011, but they were indefinitely postponed due to the massive earthquake that happened a few days prior. This earthquake had the following tsunami, destroyed several cities, and caused the Fukushima nuclear disaster, impacting the country for months. The never before seen episodes of the Pokemon anime seemingly featured the destruction of various buildings and other property damage, which was too close to the reality of the recent disaster to air. The full scripts of these episodes are available for free for Pokemon fans who want to discover more about the adventures of Pokemon's Team Rocket as they faced Plasma, but they are only available in Japanese. Despite the end of this, continuing with the article here, just finishing up, it says, despite the end of Ash's quest and Team Rocket's plans in the Pokemon anime, a new era began in April of 2023 with the release of the first episode of Pokemon Horizons, the series. This new anime series follows the story of Liko and Roy, 2 young trainers who travel the world to discover the mysteries of the Pokemon universe. The new team of villains replacing Team Rocket is the Explorers organization, but their goals remain a mystery for now.
So yeah, so this took place then in Sapphire and Ruby, right? Sapphire and Ruby, Gen 3, because that's with Kyogre and Groudon, and they resurrect these legendary Pokemon and they cause like world-ending destruction. They flood the world or they explode the world with magma. My kids were just watching some of these episodes the other day, actually.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and then the remakes were Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. Omega Rufy. Yeah. So we'll throw back to an old episode.
Yeah.
But that's cool. So there's a couple episodes here that they're not dubbed, but you can watch them. That's pretty neat. And everybody loves Team Rocket, so they've been with us the whole time. So.
The anime is not something I've spent a lot of time watching. My only real connection to it was like the movie where they released that card, the Mew card, like the ancient Mew, I think is what it was. And I remember going into the theater because my theater had stacks of them. And they were like, nobody wants these, take them. And they handed me like stacks of those cards. And then I lost them. I think I talked about it on here before.
Those are probably cash money now. You just
they're
swimming them.
They're probably somewhere. I hope they're somewhere in my garage, but I kind of doubt it. So, but yeah, so I don't spend a lot of time watching any anime unless it's Transformers, and that's a whole debate that I get on that I always fight with my chat on Twitch about. So, but cool. It seems like a lot of people are pretty excited based on the tweet and the fact that we're seeing these articles show up all over the place. That it's an important part to a lot of people's. What Pokemon is to a lot of people is what Mario is to me, right? Which is like, if I was 10 years younger, I'd probably be way more into Pokemon than I was like Mario. And I would have grown up with these cartoons and all that stuff. But 1997, I was 16 years old. I was focused on driving and girls at that point, So I didn't even play Pokemon until
I was only 7 years old. So that was my first Game Boy and one of my first games, So like for me, I hit that. Before school could watch Pokemon, get home from school, watch the rerun,
Yep. There you go. Yeah. And again, for me, like I said, that was me with Transformers. I was running off the school bus trying to catch the one episode that I could see on the weekdays. So, and that was
kids are so spoiled these days. My kids just go on demand TV all the time, whatever they want to watch.
That's wild. It's crazy. I used to have to run. Like my bus was an hour long. I'm like, come on, step on it. Like I want to get home. I'm going to miss it. So, well, this is a little bit unfortunate news as far as business goes, but Pokemon Go's monthly earnings have fallen to a 5-year low. And it says, believe it or not, this is from Nintendo Life. Pokemon Go has been around for almost 7 years now, having launched back in July of 2016, almost a full year before the Switch. It always seemed inevitable then that the interest for this app would eventually wane. Well, it seems the time may be upon us, as according to mobilegame.biz, Pokemon Go's monthly earnings for April 2023 were significantly lower than that of March, which in itself was a poor month compared to February. The app brought in a total of 3.47 million during April and 42.8 million in March and 58 million in February, meaning the drop over the course of the 2 months is a rather severe 40%. So, DJ, how much time do you spend with Pokemon Go?
I pick it up once a month and play it. Not a lot, but I do follow the news on it a little bit. And Pokemon Company is pushing Niantic, is what it seems like, to stay in their lane. So something they did recently in the past months was they changed the price of raid passes that allow you to do raids, the multiplayer content to get some of the biggest, baddest Pokemon at gyms and stuff and catch the stuff. They changed it, made it more expensive, and then they reduced / removed the ability to do it remotely, forcing people to leave their house again because COVID's over. And so they're making the shift back to stay in their lane, which is Pokemon Go. Get outside, go do something. Because Pokemon has different games for different stuff. And they already have an at-home on your couch game. And Pokemon Go can't be that. So I feel, and I've heard some other people say, that's what they think is going on. They're being pressured to get back in their lane and be the Go. You need to go to play the game, and if you can't, we're sorry, sucks to be you. And a lot of people got upset about that. A lot of people who can't leave their home or don't have vehicles or are wheelchair bound or anything like that. There's all these people who they love the fact that they could do these things remotely and allowed them to play it. Accessibility is the angle some people are taking with this. So it could be players lashing out. It could be the fact that they shot themselves in the foot by changing a lot recently. I don't think they've had any huge content releases all summer. So that too, I guess they'll have to shift up, mix up their strategy, come up with something for us. So
yeah, it seems to me like why mess with something that was working so well? It doesn't seem like it does not seem like a smart business move, and it looks like it may be biting them now. I will say this: I have been trying to get out to the Pokemon Go community days. I have a friend who listens to the Nintendo Powercast, and she messages me on the regular like, hey, let's go. And so if you are in or near Bellevue, Washington, that's where I go. I'll let you guys know when I'm going to be at the next one. I can't remember when it is exactly, or if I'm going to be around for the one in May, but we had a great time just walking, seeing a bunch of other Pokemon fans. I'm trying to remember what we were catching during the last one, but the sun even came out. It was, it was a pretty good time, and caught a ton of Pokemon, that's for sure. And I think she has one Pokemon left to complete her Pokedex, and it's like one that she has to get in France or something like that. Like,
whoa.
It's that's how much she's played. She's played Pokemon Go. So
I think the game is so cool. I love that you can transfer them into home and bring them into your Switch. Yeah. That is amazing. I think it has a place. And there are lots of diehard fans, and there are lots of fans that come back, and leave and come back. It's I know people who are 60 years old that play the game. I know people that are 10 years old that play the game. So there's really no limit to people who enjoy this game. Maybe it's got to settle in. I mean, that's still a good amount of money. I don't know how it compares to other phone games. It's definitely no Candy Crush, but I mean,
yeah, it's still, I mean, it is still a good amount of money for sure. And I can't see it going anywhere, but they may have to. This kind of stuff is good, right? It's usually it's good for the consumer, because if they've taken steps that have essentially hurt the business, they're going to have to backpedal and then potentially do some things to get people back into it. So one of the things I have the most fun with doing is I will screen record when I'm catching, and then I will go through and I will give the name to the Pokemon what I think, like we're looking at a Pokemon on screen right now. I would just call this guy Manfrog. I have no idea what his actual name is, but I think it says Krogunk. There you go. But yeah, to me that'd be like, maybe middle finger Manfrog. I don't know. Look at his middle like I'm not sure, but that's the kind of stuff that I love to have fun with. And man, oh man, some of the comments that I get from people that are just like, yo, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? Stop that. So lastly, we just wanted to kind of dive into the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, release date, price, new Pokemon, and more. This is a 2-week old article from don't even Charlie Intel, I guess, is the website. And so looking at the article here, it says Pokemon Scarlet and Violet became the fastest selling game of the storied franchise following its November release. Trainers continue to test their skills in 2023 in the Paldea region, as the Paldea region offers a ton to explore. Despite the 3 main story paths and additional content like the ranked battle stadium, Pokemon fans are always looking forward to what's next. Sword and Shield were the first games to deliver Pokemon DLC, and the new tradition continues as fans are eager to discover what's to come in Scarlet and Violet. Here is everything we know so far. So it looks like as revealed in Pokemon Day, the Hidden Treasure Area Zero DLC will arrive in Scarlet and Violet later this year. Part 1, the Teal Mask, will release in fall of 2023, and Part 2, the Indigo Disc, will arrive in winter of 2023. So what are your thoughts, DJ, with the Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc?
I'm really excited. I like the idea of a Pokemon game sticking around for longer and then producing DLC for it regularly. I like that approach on the business model instead of trying to give us a new game every year, or even I like some of the remakes and the older games. I like when they bring them back, but I think this works and charge us money for it like they are. I'll pay for it. Tons of people are already pre-ordering it and buying it. We'll pay for it, and you can sell a second version of the game a year later to us because it's better than Black and White 2, right? Don't do that to us. Don't give us Scarlet Violet 2. Just give us DLC. So I'm down for it. I'll buy all the DLC, and hopefully, they've actually already leaked all the Pokemon that are coming to it. I think they're only missing like 50 by the time. They're going to be missing like 50 out of like 1,000 Pokemon. So they're almost all going to be here. My main boy is not going to be here.
Who's your main boy?
Superior. He's a green grass snake.
Okay.
He's one of the starter Pokemon. And he's not making it, sadly. And the real sad part is he wasn't in last generation either. So he wasn't in Sun and Moon. I'm sorry, he wasn't Sun and Moon. He wasn't in Sword and Shield. And he's not here. So I have not gotten to play with him competitively in years. He's not making the cut.
Uh-oh. Well, a few details here. The Teal Mask will let players explore the land of Kitakami, just outside of the Paldean borders. An outdoor study program held jointly between their academy and another school will be the setting of this new adventure. Players will meet new friends and Pokemon as they unravel the mysteries behind the folktales that have been passed down in this land in the middle of the huge festival. The Teal Mask will introduce players to a new legendary Pokemon, Ogerpon, as well as 3 new Pokemon named Okidagi, Monkey and Fezden. Forget it. I'm not even gonna try. I'm sure. Yeah, I give up. Also known as the Heroes of Kitakami. So, what I'm really enjoying about the way they're marketing this is it looks like a bump up in the art style. Like they're making it seem like we're getting into playing more of the card, like more like we're playing the cartoon. There's I don't know. I'm just digging that aspect of it. It doesn't just seem like your typical Pokemon marketing artwork. Like these are like some pieces of art that we're looking at, and the way they were showing the videos and everything. When they announced this, I was kind of impressed by it, honestly. Like you can see the characters are in different costumes, like they're going to a different land. They're kind of almost going to be introduced to new cultures. What it kind of seems like, and then how these Pokemon are going to tie into those new places. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, they definitely looks good. If you haven't seen the trailers yet, guys, go and watch them. There's a little bit of footage there, and then does it have a sneak peek of some of the Pokemon here they're bringing out too?
It does, yeah. So there's a tweet from Pokemon. It says a newly discovered Pokemon appears in the hidden treasure of Area Zero for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. It's a splendid aura is reminiscent of the legendary Pokemon Terrapagos. Did I say it right? But this Pokemon's name and true nature are shrouded in mystery.
Cool. It could be like one of that Paradox Pokemon thing. Maybe we'll get some more. I mean, it says Area Zero, so maybe some people are hypothesizing Paradox. Alternate worlds. They've tied that into some of the other games and some of the other shows and stuff too. So they're trying to come up with what nobody knows, but everyone's trying to guess right now. That's what's going on. They're trying to guess at what this storyline is going to be and what it means and where these Pokemon come from. So could be
So
interesting.
a hot topic with Nightcrawler from the Nintendo Powercast is he refuses to buy the DLC because it doesn't work for both games.
What's that mean?
So you have to either buy the Scarlet DLC or the Violet DLC. You can't. He already owns both games. He wants to be able to purchase the DLC, but then play it on both of his for both of his games. So he didn't buy Sword and Shield's DLC, and he won't buy this. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they kind of locked themselves in to having version exclusives. It's kind of always been their thing. And I would bring it back to the point of they did Black and White 2. Mm-hmm. You know, they did Black and White 1, they did Black and White 2. They sold you a whole new game. It was this, like, the same region. Like, it was kind of sort of the same game. Like, it had a different story, but, I mean, they recycled content. Here, at least, they're giving you a completely new area.
Right.
But I guess buying it twice, it would be cool if you didn't have to buy it twice. I agree. But I did buy both versions of the game. I actually own 4 copies of Scarlet and Violet. So I own 4 copies of the game. So for me, if I buy it, I buy Scarlet, I get it, one of my sons gets it. I buy Violet, I get it, one of my sons gets it. So I'll be able to double use the content, even though since I have to purchase both. So a little bit more worth it for me.
Right.
Yeah, it has to do with, I'm sure it has to do with version exclusives and the story itself, right? So the 2 professors, one's a mom, one's a dad, and they disappear. So if they bring those characters back in any way or reference those characters, it would not cross over. Right. Scarlet and Violet had different characters in the story.
For sure.
And it had different legendaries. So if the legendary shows up again and the artwork for the legendary, imagine that. They sell you one DLC and the Violet legendary is the one that gets chosen. He flies across your screen, but you played with the Scarlet one the whole time. That don't work. I mean,
wait a minute.
They've locked themselves in at this point. I don't see how you would do it unless you custom code the game. I know that's possible where they could have it switch variation depending on which one you're talking to. But they probably thought, man, that's extra work and less money. So
yeah, and I mean it looks like the what's the overall, let's see, the Pokemon Scarlet Violet DLC, the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero costs $34.99. So
times 2, so it's going to end up being $70 for both. So it's the price of one game to get both DLCs.
From the looks of it, yeah. I'm assuming that's the whole expansion pack. Is not. I'm just looking through here to make sure.
I think that's 2. They haven't released the price of the second expansion pack yet. There's one on the left and one on the right. There's 2 expansions coming. One is $34, I think. It's coming the first part of this year, and you're gonna have to buy the second one again. So all in all, it's going to be $60 for the game, $34 for one, $34 for the other.
Ooh, so they're getting you twice. You're paying $130 if you want the complete
experience.
The complete Pokemon experience. But I mean, again,
or $260 if you want both sides.
Exactly.
You said Nightcrawler won't do it.
Nope. He's like, I already bought the double pack. They should just give me, the, I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, depending on how big these are, it could be well worth the money. And if you're a Pokemon fan, you want to spend it anyway, right? Like that's just.
And if you're not sure, just wait 12 hours and watch Twitch. You'll find out if it's worth it for you.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I mean, with Sword and Shield, I just bought the one. I don't think I bought both of them. I think I just bought for the version I played the most. So
I bought it and didn't play it. How's that?
Wow. I got I got Kung Fu Panda, my favorite Pokemon, right?
I switched to full competitive mode at that point. I was already I beat the game. It took too long. I was full competitive mode.
I got you.
I'm going to force myself to go and play this one, though. I'm going to do it. So.
Well, there you go. Well, hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Poke News Now podcast. If you've got any Pokemon news, make sure to hit us up either on Twitter or in the comment section of the video or even on the podcast player. And also, you got any suggestions or feedback or things that you'd like to see from this show, please let us know. And we got a lot more in store for PokeNewsNow.com, as well as the podcast and just everything in the works. So thanks so much for listening, and we will see you in the next one. Bye now.